Hello and welcome to Number by Color. My name is Todd and today I want to make a quick video about 5 action games that I am excited for in 2021. Now I recently put out a video of 5 RPGs that I'm looking forward to playing this year in 2021, and I thought I don't play a ton of other kinds of games, but I do play a lot of action games, and there are actually, now that I think of it, a lot of action games that I'm excited for 2021 as well. So I thought I might as well make a video about it. So here are 5 action games that I'm excited for 2021. Now again, kind of like the RPG video, a lot of these don't have solid release dates yet, so I didn't put them really in any order other than the order that I listed them, except for the first one, again, which is Cyber Shadow, and that's coming out January 26th, so that's only a couple weeks away, and it's really exciting. This is being developed by Mechanical Head Studios, being published by Yacht Club Games. You might know Yacht Club from a little game called Shovel Knight. Now they're not developing this game, but they are publishing it, so that means there is some sort of pedigree of the studio that is developing it that Yacht Club trusts, and if Yacht Club trusts them, I trust them. Now as far as I can tell, Mechanical Head Studios is just a one-man studio. I'm not really sure, there's not a lot of information about it, but this game, Cyber Shadow, is a retro 8-bit style Ninja Gaiden type of game, and it looks awesome. We first saw it in the Nintendo Indie Showcase that happened at the end of last year, and it's coming out for PS4, Xbox, Switch, and PC, and it just looks awesome. It looks like an awesome retro styled game, and I really love pixel art. If you didn't know that, I really love pixel art. If it's got a Super Nintendo aesthetic or a Nintendo aesthetic, I am all about it, and this game has that in spades. It kind of reminded me a little bit of The Messenger in the way it looks, but it looks different enough where it's not obviously ripping that off, but it looks so good. I'm really excited for this. The platforming, the combat, it just looks amazing. Next up, we have Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart for the PlayStation 5. Now, the last we heard Insomniac talk about this game, they said they are hoping for launch window as a release date. We don't know what that means. To me, that means within the first 3 to 5 months of a console coming out. So we had November, we had December, we're in January. The console's been out for almost 2 months, so I would say February or March is my guess for when this is supposed to come out. We still don't know. They might not be done with it. Obviously, they don't want to tell us when it's going to come out because maybe they don't even know. But as I said, Ratchet and Clank is a series developed by Insomniac Games. They are one of my favorite game companies. I love Ratchet and Clank. I love Spyro the Dragon. I loved Resistance, Fall of Man. I loved Spider-Man. You could see my recent Spider-Man review on this channel. But I love almost every game that they've put out on Sony consoles, and I'm so happy that they're part of the Sony first-party studios now, but we haven't had a full-fledged Ratchet and Clank mainline game since 2013. And if you really want to debate, I would say A Crack in Time was probably the last full-fat Ratchet and Clank game, and that was 2009. So in my mind, it's been 12 years since a full $60, $70 Ratchet and Clank game has come out, and it's about dang time. But really though, I loved Into the Nexus, but I think that was a $40 game at the time, and before that we had All for One, the multiplayer game, and Full Frontal Assault, the combo tower defense type of game, and both of those were really fun, but they weren't the full mainline Ratchet and Clank experience that I love. And we did have the remake of Ratchet and Clank in 2016, so it has been about 5 years at this point, or it will have been about 5 years in April, and I think it's really time for another Ratchet and Clank. We kind of skipped all of PlayStation 4. If you think about it, we had like 5 Ratchet and Clank games on PlayStation 2. We had 2 main ones and maybe 3 or 4 other ones, 3 or 4 other ones on PlayStation 3, and then we had 1 on PlayStation 4. We can't even play the old Ratchet and Clank games on the PlayStation 4 now like we can with Jak and Daxter, and if you want to talk to me about Jak and Daxter, I think Ratchet and Clank is definitely better than Jak and Daxter. Why can't we play Ratchet and Clank on PlayStation 4? Anyway, I'm going on a long time about Ratchet and Clank. I love the series. That's all you need to know. Rift Apart looks incredible. It's really going to be using the PlayStation 5 power. This is one of the first exclusive PlayStation 5 games that's really going to showcase what the console can do, and I'm so excited for it. The SSD is going to allow levels to load super quickly, and I think the adaptive triggers, right? The adaptive triggers, that's what they're called. The triggers are going to be really cool with all the different weapons and gadgets that you have. I think it's just going to be really awesome and a really cool experience, and Insomniac really knows how to push the hardware to the limit. We've seen that with Spider-Man, Miles Morales, we've seen that with Spider-Man Remastered, and now I am so excited for Ratchet and Clank. I can't even tell you how excited I am. I really hope we get this sooner than later. And let's just move on because I'm gonna just talk about Ratchet and Clank the whole day. Number 3 is a game we were supposed to get last year. It's called Cana Bridge of Spirits. It's being developed by a studio called Ember Lab, and as far as I can tell, I think this is the first video game that they've made. I think they're also publishing it with help from Sony. It's supposed to come out Q1 or March of 2021, and it's basically just an action adventure game. It looks a little bit like a run-of-the-mill game, but the art style is really interesting. I think the studio developing it is more of an animation-centric studio, so they have more of that kind of pedigree to them, and it gives the game a really cool visual aesthetic. It looks like an animated movie, and I think that will lend it really well to the gameplay. And like I said, it does look a little bit run-of-the-mill, but the cutesiness of the art style and the colors in the world just look really, really nice. I think this is going to do really well for them. I know I am going to get it at least, but it just looks like a lot of fun. I think essentially there's some kind of plague or something, and you are collecting these little creatures called the Rot, and they are helping you to restore the forest or all the environments that you go to back to the former self, and it looks visually pretty stunning, and I'm really excited to see what this new studio can do. I like these kinds of games generally, even if they are a little bit run-of-the-mill. I keep saying run-of-the-mill, but yeah, I don't know if there's much more I want to say about this. It just looks interesting. I like the art style, I like the character design of Cana, and it just looks like a fun action platformer kind of game. Number 4 is Horizon Forbidden West. As far as we know, this is coming out in the second half of 2021, probably toward holiday, I would imagine. It's probably going to have to contend with God of War if that game is actually coming out this year. But this game I'm really looking forward to. The first Horizon game took me by surprise, especially the narrative in that game. It was so good and so unexpected, at least from Guerrilla Games, and I am really looking forward to what they can do with another crack at an open world-ish action adventure game. So Horizon Zero Dawn came out in February of 2017, so it will have been 4+ years since we got that game. I'm not really counting Frozen Wilds as part of that. I think the core team probably would have moved on to this game after base development for Horizon Zero Dawn, so they probably had a pretty good amount of time to work on this. It is going to be a cross-gen game, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, so unfortunately it will not fully take advantage of the PS5. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of enhanced features for the PlayStation 5. I'm not trying to say it's going to be held back by the PS5. I guess in a way I am saying that, but I'm not really trying to say that. I'm not really trying to be negative about it. I just think it was probably supposed to come out on PlayStation 4, but something happened. Maybe it was delayed. Maybe they just chose to wait and release it on both consoles, but I think it's still going to be really awesome. We had Miles Morales on PS4 and PS5, and it was really awesome on PS5. There were a lot of different enhancements visually and performance wise that made the PS5 version like a reason to play it on the PlayStation 5 apart from the PS4. So I think it's going to be even more so evident with Horizon because it's an open world game. I know Spider-Man is open world, but that was like a shorter, more compact experience. Forbidden West is a true full-fledged sequel, so I'm really looking forward to what they can do to expand the world. And now that they have more power with the PlayStation 5, I think it's just going to be really fun to get back into the world and see what new devices and gadgets and skills Aloy has, and see what kind of new creatures we have to fight. And finally, my last game on this list is a game called Axiom Verge 2. So this is another game on my list that is being developed by a single person named Thomas Happ. He developed, of course, the first Axiom Verge game, and that came out in 2015, so it's been a pretty long while since the last game. This was supposed to come out in fall of 2020. I think we saw this first revealed at one of the Nintendo Direct showcases last year, and it is more Axiom Verge. If you're not familiar with Axiom Verge, it's a Metroidvania style game with really cool 16-bit graphic pixel art aesthetic, and it has pretty much everything you would expect from a Metroidvania style game, from a big map to lots of different weapons that you can use to fight enemies and uncover secrets in the environment. And I think it's just going to be a lot of fun, kind of like Cyber Shadow and even the original Axiom Verge. It harkens back to a time where games were more about the gameplay and the fun of the game over necessarily having a really compelling story. And I think there's something to be said about games where they put gameplay forefront to make that the most exciting feature. And with Metroidvanias especially, you need to have really good gameplay, because otherwise you're just going to be walking around bored all the time because the maps are so big and you have to kind of go back and forth a lot. And with this game, I am really looking forward to more Axiom Verge. Hopefully anything that was a little bit wrinkled in the first game gets ironed out in this game, and we just get more of this kind of thing. Thomas Happ made a really good game in Axiom Verge, and I really trust him to do a good job with a sequel now that he's had 6 years to put everything he has into it. I am just really looking forward to this. The only downfall I would say is that I think it's coming out first to Switch, which means I'm probably gonna have to play it on the Switch because I want to play it probably pretty close to when it comes out. I would prefer to play it on the PS4, or the PS5 rather, but I think the Switch is still a good place to play this kind of game, and either way, I'm really looking forward to this. Like I said, it was delayed from fall 2020 to 2021, so hopefully it comes out pretty soon. But that is my list of 5 games that I'm looking forward to this year, 5 action games that I'm looking forward to this year. Let me know what you guys are looking forward to. There are a ton of these games coming out this year. These are probably the 5 that I'm most looking forward to that I can think of right now. I know Returnal's coming out, Scarlet Nexus is another one, God of War Ragnarok is another one, but I don't think that's coming out this year, and if it is, I feel like it's not going to be a full sequel to the first God of War, but maybe it will be. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys are looking forward to. Maybe there are some that I missed that I should add to my list. But other than that, like the video if you liked the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and yeah, so far 2021 is shaping up to be a pretty good year as far as games go, and these are only the games that we know about right now. But on that note, I'm gonna head off. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.